You wake up suddenly. Your heart is racing. Your body feels frozen. And for a moment, you're not sure if you're still dreaming. Nightmares are more than bad dreams. They feel real. They stay with us long after we wake up. But nightmares are not accidents. They are not random. They are created by your brain, for a reason. Tonight, we explore the psychology of nightmares, why they happen, why some feel more disturbing than others, and what your mind may be trying to tell you while you sleep. Nightmares occur during REM sleep, the stage of sleep where the brain is most active. During REM sleep, your brain looks almost identical to how it looks when you are awake. But there is one critical difference. Your body is paralyzed. This prevents you from physically acting out your dreams. But emotionally, your brain is fully exposed. This is when the brain processes fear, stress, anxiety, trauma, unresolved emotional conflict. A nightmare is not your brain malfunctioning. It is your brain working overtime. One reason nightmares are so intense is because logic is mostly offline. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning, is less active during REM sleep. Meanwhile, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, is highly active. This imbalance creates a perfect storm. You cannot question what's happening. You cannot reason your way out. You simply feel. This is why nightmares often involve being chased, being attacked, being trapped, or being unable to move or scream. The brain removes logic and amplifies emotion. Arcing over time. Nightmares rarely communicate in clear language. Instead, the brain speaks in symbols. A monster may represent fear. A collapsing building may represent instability. Darkness may represent uncertainty or loss. Common nightmare themes appear across cultures. Falling being, chased teeth, falling out, being late or unprepared, being watched. These themes persist because they are linked to universal human fears. Your brain uses familiar symbols to express internal emotional states. Some nightmares don't happen just once. They return again and again. Recurring nightmares are often connected to chronic stress, trauma, anxiety disorders, suppressed emotions. Psychologists believe recurring nightmares exist because the emotional conflict behind them has not been resolved. The brain continues repeating the scenario in an attempt to process it. In other words, the nightmare doesn't stop until the message is heard. Nightmares are especially common in people who have experienced trauma. In conditions like PTSD, the brain struggles to integrate traumatic memories. During sleep, the brain attempts to process these memories, but without the protective filter of logic. This causes traumatic experiences to replay in distorted or symbolic forms. Nightmares in this case are not just dreams. They are the mind's attempt to heal itself. Children experience nightmares more frequently than adults. This is because their emotional regulation is still developing. They have less control over fear responses. Their imagination is more vivid. As the brain matures, most nightmares decrease in frequency. But for some people, they never fully disappear. Nightmares are uncomfortable, sometimes terrifying. But psychologically, they are not enemies. They are signals. Signals that something inside the mind needs attention. Ignoring nightmares does not make them disappear. Understanding them often does. So the next time you wake from a nightmare, before pushing it away, ask yourself, what emotion did I feel the strongest? Fear, helplessness, loss? Because somewhere inside that nightmare, your brain may have been trying to protect you. Sometimes the dream doesn't end when you wake up. Your eyes open, your room looks familiar, but something feels wrong. You can't move, you can't speak, and your mind is still dreaming. This is the space between sleep and wakefulness, and it's where some of the most disturbing experiences occur. Lucid dreaming happens when you become aware that you are dreaming while still asleep. At first, this can feel empowering. You can control the environment, change outcomes, escape fear. But psychologically, lucid dreaming is not complete control. It is the conscious mind waking up inside an unconscious world. This blending of states can be unstable, and for some people, it opens the door to darker dream experiences. Some lucid dreamers report a shift. The dream stops responding. The environment turns hostile. Figures appear that feel aware. Psychologists suggest this happens when the brain detects a loss of control. The unconscious mind resists interference. What was once a dream becomes a confrontation between awareness and instinct. Sleep paralysis occurs when the body remains paralyzed from REM sleep while the mind wakes up. You are conscious, but unable to move. The brain, still dreaming, projects fear into reality. This is why people often report a presence in the room, pressure on the chest, whispering or breathing sounds, shadow figures watching. Across cultures, the hallucinations are different, but the fear is the same. The shadow figure is one of the most common sleep paralysis hallucinations. Psychologically, it forms when fear activates the brain's threat detection system without sensory input. The mind fills the gap. The figure feels real because your brain believes it is. This is not imagination. It is perception without logic. Night terrors are not nightmares. They occur outside REM sleep. There is no narrative, only raw fear. People experiencing night terrors may sit up screaming, appear awake but unresponsive, have no memory afterward. This suggests something important. Fear can exist without a story, without images, without meaning, just emotion. A false awakening happens when you dream that you've woken up. You may check your phone, walk around your house, start your day, only to wake up again, sometimes repeatedly. Psychologically, false awakenings occur when the brain misfires its awake signal. Reality becomes unreliable. All of these experiences have one thing in common. They happen when the brain fails to fully separate sleep and wakefulness. The boundary breaks, and when it does, fear slips through. But these experiences are not signs of danger. They are signs of a brain working too hard to protect you. The mind is not trying to scare you. It is trying to understand itself.